So Doris just needed to be close to her audience to infect them. Contagion through skin. Very disturbing.
Chapitre V. Qu'est-ce qu'elle fout là?
Elizabeth, what are you doing here?
I've been formally asked to witness your triumph, my dear. After all, isn't it the natural role of a woman to support her man in victory?
But it's you who insisted I join the Ascalon.
Please forgive my giddiness. I'm just overcome by the thrill of finally being allowed within these hallowed halls.
You certainly have an inquisitive mind. It's quite something. Elizabeth Ashbury, only you can make me smile in these difficult times.
And the same to you, Jonathan Reed. Now go have your little chat with the chairman. I can see he's practically bursting to hear your report.
Elle est chum, hein.
Welcome back to the Ascalon Club, Lance-Bearer. Please, tell us the good news. Have you put an end to the epidemic?
My hypothesis was correct. Doris Fletcher was the source of the contagion in this part of town. She was probably the first to be infected.
And you cleansed her before the hunters, I've been told. Well done, Dr. Reed. You thrust your lance and pierced the very heart of the corruption.
But some questions remain.
The important thing is, we won a major battle for the survival of London. For that, we salute you.
Thank you, my lord.
Now, I have another task for you. One of the utmost importance. Perhaps even more so than the previous.
I'm listening.
It's time for you to perform a most sacred duty for the club. I want you to recruit a new vampire.
Recruit a new vampire? Are you sending me on some sort of diplomatic mission?
Not exactly. I want you to make Aloysius Dawson the Ekon he deserves to be.
I'm not sure I'm the best candidate for such a task.
I can hear the hesitation in your voice, Dr. Reed. I admire a man of principles. But in this matter, there is more at stake than your moral comfort.
It's not a moral question, Lord Redgrave. It's the responsibility of giving immortality to a man I barely know.
Nonsense. Aloysius has been a member of the Ascalon for years. This is but the fruition of a long-held plan.
How would you like me to proceed?
Aloysius is waiting for you at the Dawson estate. Once the deed is done, I'll join you there to celebrate this momentous occasion.
Mais j'ai pas envie de le transformer en fait.
Before I go, I have a few questions.
All right, I'm listening.
Why Aloysius Dawson?
Because he is about to die. And he just may be the most influential man in England. After me, of course.
Does he know I'm coming?
He can't wait to become your progeny, Dr. Reed. especially now that you have shown how strong your lineage is through your sister.
Did he choose me?
No, I did. My decision is very recent, to say the least, but it is entirely mine.
How would you like me to proceed?
Don't worry. Aloysius has had many years to prepare himself. He has studied our kind for decades.
Is there any danger?
Our blood alters a mortal body so deeply that some don't survive the metamorphosis. They die for good. But Mr. Dawson has been preparing himself for a long time.
Je croyais qu'il voulait pas, mais je comprends pas.
So shall I just let him drink my blood?
Yes. Aloysius will gratefully sup on your blood. His heart will slow, then stop. But he will rise again as one of us, an immortal.
You invited Lady Ashbury. Wouldn't that be breaking one of your cardinal rules? No women allowed.
Not allowed as members, no. But considering the circumstances, I thought you'd like to have her here to witness your triumph.
So it's a temporary admittance, then.
Something of a bargain, considering the crisis we're currently facing.
Goodbye, Lord Redgrave.
Mais j'ai pas envie.
Are you all right, Jonathan?
Lord Redgrave has just ordered me to turn Aloysius Dawson, to make him my progeny.
I see. And how do you feel about this?
Merde.
I'd like your advice on the matter.
The real question here is, why has his lordship given you this task?
Do you think it's some sort of trap?
Do you really want to know what I think about this?
I do, yes.
To make an immortal of a soulless blackguard like Aloysius Dawson will only lead to a disaster for London. The man is already dead inside.
Should I refuse? Perhaps politely suggest that Lord Redgrave turn the man into a vampire himself.
Don't you dare, my dear. According to what I've recently discovered, his lordship could kill you for even broaching the subject.
Really? Why?
I've recently found proof that the Earl of Bristol is of lesser lineage and only capable of creating skulls.
Please tell me more about your recent investigation.
As long as you lower your voice.
What would you have me do about Dawson?
The man is dangerous. Did you know he plans to build a wall to separate the healthy rich from the sickly poor? Do not make him your progeny.
What would you do?
The man's dying already. Let the Reaper harvest the rotten fruit that is his soul.
What would happen if I made Dawson an Ekon like myself?
You would add a powerful immortal into a suffering world. An immortal who already craves authority.
Maybe I could teach him control, like you taught me. Lead him down the right path.
Mr. Dawson spent his life searching for a way to cheat death. I'm sure he has spent decades dreaming of how he'd spend eternity as a tyrant.
Are you sure your information about Redgrave is correct? He says he's the progeny of the great knight William Marshall, who lived some 9 centuries ago.
That's a lie. Lord Redgrave is unable to create anything but skulls, if the poor souls survive at all.
How can you be sure the information was correct?
I made the acquaintance of a most interesting informer while investigating your maker, from whom I learned the truth about Lord Redgrave.
Why so vindictive? You suddenly sound like you're angry.
Forgive me, Jonathan. I hate myself for it, but I feel such pride in my discovery. I'm afraid I just can't help it.
Which is?
He did serve William Marshall, And yes, the blood he covets as a token does truly belong to that legendary knight. But he was never his progeny. His lineage is not so noble.
Goodbye for now, Elizabeth.
Goodbye, my dear. Please, be careful.
Be careful. Blah. Bon, j'avais pas l'intention de le transformer, bah là encore moins. Maintenant, est-ce qu'elle a mytho pas? Peut-être qu'elle veut le pouvoir, hein, je sais pas. Hein. Oh là 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 là. Moi je pense que j'ai pas envie parce qu'il avait dit non et maintenant il veut. Donc je donne mon sang à personne, moi c'est fini. Vous imaginez si j'avais donné mon sang à l'autre pourri là? Il aurait été trop puissant.
It looks like vampires have to obey Mendel's laws when producing progeny. Powers pass from one generation to another. That's why Dawson wants me to sire him.
Moi ce que je comprends pas c'est que juste parce qu'il est fort ils font oh bah il est fort alors il vient d'une lignée très forte. Mais je vais savoir de qui au moins, je sais pas non. Ah j'ai vu quelqu'un. Ah, je peux pas passer par là. Si, il y a un portail ici. Qui m'a dit stop? Ah, c'est eux là-bas. Peut-être qu'il aurait pas eu de mort et qu'il aurait peut-être été guéri. Non, mais il aurait été guéri, c'était sûr. Mais du coup, il serait devenu puissant et il aurait pu faire l'anarchie, tu vois. Ah, c'est pour ça qu'ils m'ont aggro, parce qu'il y avait... Oula, 4. C'est plus... Comme une envie de tout casser. Putain. Ah non, c'est là, ok. Je suis allée ici pour rien. Trouver un moyen d'accéder au manoir. Trouver un passage pour contourner les palissades. Ça l'aurait peut-être changé. Non, je pense que... Je sais pas. C'est où le manoir? C'est ici? Ah, c'est peut-être là. Je sais pas.
Over
Tornade de Konoha. Allez les enfants, vers une sortie scolaire. Venez. Je sais pas s'il y a un niveau max, je pense. Hein. Quoique, je sais pas.
I think this passage could lead me close to Aloysius Dawson's mansion.
J'ai pas vu ce qu'il a dit. On va disparaître ton nom, poteau. Son ombre a une vie. Mais... Oh là là. Je sais pas où je suis allée. C'est ça le passage? J'ai pas fait exprès. Ses attaques sont trop lentes. Du coup, je peux le... Ouais, quand je l'attaque en premier, quoi. Oula! Oh merde. Il est dead. Ouais. Je vais pas remonter là? Si. Bah j'étais obligée d'y aller en fait.
I can't believe I'm doing this.
J'ai 3 chemins. Ok. Bah y'a rien ici.
It's locked.
Mais je comprends pas, je suis sur le bon chemin ou je me suis gourée à un moment? salut! Déjà, il y en a un, il va se manger un ult. Toi, tu vas te manger des griffes dans ta tête. Enfin, rien. Vous m'avez tout saoulé. Du coup, tout ça pour ça? C'est une blague. Il y a un chemin là, tout là. Ah, j'ai compris. Ah non. Je peux pas me TP là-haut. Bah, pourquoi je peux pas y aller? Ah, je peux pas aller... Ah bah si. Mais... Bah, c'était peut-être pas par là alors. Pourquoi elle les accueillait elle-même, les fraises? Bah, Les manivelles, elles servaient à changer le niveau de l'eau et je l'ai changé pour pouvoir accéder à la zone. Comme ça, ils sont où les graphismes?
Thirst for blood. This is despicable.
Quand j'étais petite, on avait planté des fraises avec ma mère en
I
appartement.
can't believe I'm doing this. There has been a fight here. I can see a blood trail. Left by one of the antagonists, perhaps?
Je crois que c'est pas trop la quête principale, ça. Ah si. Ah non. Une mission de citoyen. Qu'est-ce que je voulais alors? Quoi? Qu'est-ce que j'ai fait?
What a mess. Something terrible happened here. But what?
Non mais c'était bien les égouts. C'était bien les égouts, je les taille. Putain. Oh trop cute, moi aussi je vais planter des fraises. Oh, c'est trop cool. Tu vois, en gros, le chemin, il était tout en bas comme ça. Mais le truc... Oh putain, il y a des escaliers. Putain, il a les mêmes sorts que moi. Le décor. Eh oh, le décor. Putain. Allô, je viens de me relever. Casse les couilles, frérot. Frérot, tu me casses la tête. Ça lui a fait 0 damage. J'ai esquivé. Allô, la terre. Tu me casses les couilles. Casse-toi. Vas-y, viens. Enlève ton shield. Non mais, enfin, frérot, tu le cheats là. Oh là là, mais il a son shield plus souvent que moi, à l'aide. Oh, j'ai envie de te casser, il me bloque. Mais il a encore son shield. Allez, cache-toi maintenant. C'est bon, arrête de crier toi.
Are you all right, miss?
Who are you? What do you want from me?
My name is Jonathan Reed. I'm a doctor. What happened to you? Why are you here?
I'm Louise Teasdale. I was kidnapped a few weeks ago by a vampire. Don't laugh, please, sir. It's no joke.
I believe you, Miss Teasdale.
That monster told me my father was dead, that no one was waiting for me outside.
You're safe now. You don't have to worry about the vampire. You should just return home.
Thank you, sir. I hope we'll meet again soon, because I'd really like you to teach me how to get rid of these creatures.
Goodbye.
Moi, je bouffe mes patients, moi. Je bouffe les gens pas gentils. Sur le point de mourir. Parce que pas le choix, quoi.
Good evening, sir. May I ask you what you're doing here at this late hour?
I'm conducting an investigation about the epidemic in this part of town.
And who are you, sir?
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed from the Pembroke Hospital. May I ask who you are and why all the questions?
I'm Detective Inspector Charles Albright from Scotland Yard. and I don't find your answers convincing. What is a Pembroke doctor doing in the West End at this time of night?
I work for the Ascalon Club. Here is my permit to go freely about the city.
The Ascalon Club? You should have said so, sir. I must warn you, these streets are dangerous, and you'd better be careful.
Do you know anything in particular about a man called Aloysius Dawson?
Who doesn't know the man? I think he intervened personally to put an end to the police strike of last August.
What else can you tell me about him?
Aloysius Dawson is exactly the kind of powerful and influential man who could commit murder and get away with it, with just one phone call.
What are you investigating, exactly?
I currently have a few missing persons cases. Mr. Tadao Kimura and Miss Louise Teasdale. I'm afraid they may have been abducted by my mysterious maniac.
Tell me about Louise Teasdale.
She's a waitress. Her father reported her missing. We don't have enough men to search for her, sadly.
Do you have any idea where she could be?
No. But I feel she's been abducted. She went to a pub a few nights ago and vanished. I thought about the sewers, but I'm not equipped for such an investigation.
Tell me about Mr. Kimura.
Mr. Kimura is a businessman who has been missing for a few days. He didn't go home, didn't go to work, didn't go back to his family.
Where was he last seen?
Mr. Kimura was last seen at the Royal Observatory in Greenwich. I followed a possible lead in the West End, but I found nothing.
Goodbye, Detective Inspector Albright.
Goodbye, Dr. Jonathan Reed. I'm sure we'll talk again soon.
Wow.
This is no place for you, sir. Go on, off you trot.
Ah merde! Putain, c'est ça que je voulais craft. Putain.
I can't believe I'm doing this. This is despicable.
Ah! C'est Monsieur Kimura, ça. Qu'est-ce qu'ils font?
Good evening, sir.
No,
I'm a... What can you tell me about Aloysius Dawson?
I've heard this is a man who has searched for his place in the world for a long time. I hope he found it. Yeah, well,
What can you tell me about Aloysius Dawson?
you should ask that question to my brother instead. Personally, I've not seen Aloysius for many years.
Good.
Ça faisait longtemps que j'avais pas vu des gens faire des bêtises.
We should be far from town already. All right. But where would we go? Anywhere. Anywhere that isn't here. And what is that, by the way? A safer place? A less strange place? And where would that be? Life is strange. And we are alive. For now, yes. But for how long? If we decided to flee, we should be far from town already. All right. Where would we go?
Mais y a rien de suspect? Ils veulent juste partir.
Good evening. Tell me more about your strange feelings towards the city.
I would be happy to describe them. But it's too hard to explain with mere words what I'm feeling. It's unclear, too confused.
Go on, please.
Where should I start? The world is chaos. Men go mad and nature itself runs roughshod over us all.
This is not the first time mankind has faced a deadly epidemic or a war.
Men kill each other while nature decides to kill them all. I don't know what scares me the most. Do you?
Plagues and epidemics can be seen as an implacable force, a curse even. But the ferocity of mankind worries me more, for we choose what we do.
Yes. At least nature is not aware of all the suffering she brings to us. At least that's what I am hoping.
Goodbye.
Il est où ton frérot là?
Do you need... Goodbye, detective.
Goodbye.
Good boy.
What are you really afraid of, Agamemnon?
The problem is, it's precisely what I don't know that frightens me. So I suppose I can't really answer your question.
C'était rapide, hein?
Goodbye.
Bon. Et je sais pas où il est le manoir, hein, par contre. Hein. Moi j'ai fait le tour. Et là c'est là où je viens, non? Ouais. Ouais. Je viens de là. tout, je viens pas de là. C'est quoi ça? C'est ton Raider ou quoi?
It's locked.
Again. What are the cards trying to tell us? Jonathan,
You are the leader of the Brotherhood.
primate of the Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stole, to be precise. I'm really glad we met tonight. I love it when the cards tell it.
Is there anything you could tell me about Aloysius Dawson?
Aloysius Dawson. Yes, of course. We met on several occasions. With time, he got deeper and deeper into the occult.
He's not the only one. It's been quite the fashion for several decades. The Golden Dawn, for instance, is just one example.
True. Aloysius was a member of the Golden Dawn until 1900. Then his thirst for dark knowledge grew. I'm talking forbidden texts, readings which blackened his heart.
Goodbye, sir. Until we meet again.
I rarely wander, yet it amuses me to converse with your kind. And the Empress, again. What are the cards trying to tell us?
Cette porte, elle doit pouvoir se pousser du coup avec les dalles, je pense. Qu'est-ce qu'on peut mettre dessus? Je pense que c'est un ordre plutôt. Je sais pas, j'en fous. Allez. Faut encore que j'interroge des gens à l'aide. Il n'y a plus personne dans le monde là. C'est le refuge, ça je peux pas y aller. Ah là-bas. Ah. Bonsoir.
Good evening, Miss Price. Always glad.
Too long in.
May I...
Oups. Ok.
Dr. Reed, I am. You.
Do you know Aloysius Dawson?
Everybody knows him. He's only been to my shop once, though, looking for rare books and other intriguing antiques.
Did he buy something from you?
No, he left quickly. He almost laughed at my goods. Mr. Dawson may be a rich man, but you can't buy good manners.
But isn't Aloysius Dawson known for his philanthropy?
That was before his brother Robert died in an aeroplane crash. Since then, the remaining twin has turned into a heartless tycoon.
Goodbye for now, Miss Price.
Ah.
Dr. Reed, I am glad to see you.
Pour aller où? Je sais pas où est son manoir. Mais à l'aide. Il doit être quelque part ici pour le coup. C'est pas des entrées de manoir ça. Hein.
It's locked, all right.
C'est pas ça. Ah, mais c'est pas censé être ça le manoir? Ah, c'est ça son manoir. Et moi là, je pars par là. Elle est où l'entrée, poteau? Ah, peut-être ici. Peut-être là. Ils m'ont pas vu. Bande de balazes. Si. Ok, je me casse. C'est ici. Oh, je suis trop la bosse. Bye, Baxter. C'est bon, je me casse, frérot. Moi qui pensais qu'elle allait avoir une cinématique.
Dawson's mansion. Here I am at last. But the question remains. Am I ready to make a dying man my progeny?
Non. C'est hors de question. Mais faut juste pas que j'oublie que c'est le pilier de la ville, quoi. Ah, mais je le transforme pas de source sûre.
It's locked.
Donc oui, sûrement le tuer, ouais. De toute façon, il est mourant. Hein.
It's locked, all right.
Finally, you're here, Dr. Reed. What took you so long?
I had to pass several of your barricades and outposts to access your mansion, sir.
Death, pestilence surround us, and time is against me.
I see you've gathered some of the most expensive, albeit experimental, blood transfusion equipment available. All this could be so useful in a hospital.
Yes, yes. Since Lord Redgrave sent me a doctor to perform my conversion, I thought you might find some of these devices useful.
Most thoughtful. But tonight I'm not here as a physician.
But I feel reassured that a specialist such as yourself would help me to escape the Reaper.
Very well. But before I proceed, I have a few questions for you.
If you must, but be quick, for I don't have much time left in this life.
First of all, I need to be sure that you know exactly what is going to happen to you, sir.
I can assure you I'm as informed as any man can be. I have planned for this moment, Dr. Reed. Planned very carefully.
Je comprends pas là. On peut attendre quelques minutes, mais je comprends pas, elle sert à quoi cette phrase?
I'm the only vampire in the room for now, so please indulge me.
All right, all right. What is it you wish to ask?
What do you know about the Guard of Priwen?
What I do know is that I'll crush anyone or anything that would dare to oppose me.
Ok, donc il sera dangereux ensuite.
You'll need to feed on warm blood. Blood from mortals. How do you feel about that?
I'm rich, Dr. Reed, and powerful. I'm sure I'll be able to acquire all the blood I need without ever having to sully my own hands.
Un psychopathe ensuite.
I will become your maker. Do you understand what that means?
Well, I certainly won't consider you my liege or some such drivel. You can be assured of that.
Ok, donc on va te tuer en fait.
Let's move on then.
Please, I'm cold and tired. I feel my life waning with every moment.
But first, before you embrace immortality, what would you do with such a gift?
That's a rather impertinent question, Dr. Reed. And I will do as I please.
Answer me all the same. What will your first action be as an immortal?
To save London. I will finance the most efficient quarantine ever seen. I will build a wall that will separate the sick boroughs from the healthy ones.
Quarantine is not a bad idea, medically speaking. But I'm convinced this epidemic will not be contained by mere walls.
As long as the right people are on the right side of the wall, that's all that matters.
But you can't guarantee infection will not spread. Just one contagious carrier would be enough to create an apocalypse.
The apocalypse is already knocking at the gate. We must be strong now.
What if a new outbreak happens inside your walls? You'll have created a giant trap.
That won't happen. As long as we dispose of anyone that is contaminated as soon as they are spotted.
You really plan to build a quarantine wall across London?
Yes, it will be tall and strong, separating the wheat from the chaff.
Let me guess. You mean to isolate the rich from the poor?
This is a desperate measure for desperate times. England must prevail, Doctor, no matter the cost.
By doing so, you will also create two separate prisons.
Come, sir. An eminent doctor like yourself knows that such radical measures have proved efficient in the past.
Who gave you the right to decide the fate of thousands of people?
My money. My money and my pending immortality gives me the needed authority, Doctor. I'm a businessman. I'm used to tough decisions.
Je vais le buter.
I've heard enough. It's time to proceed.
At last. All right, do what you have to do. If it hurts, so be it. I've been preparing such a long time for this.
Charmez, oubliez votre peur de la mort, transformez, vous savez, 2000 points. Je vais vous transformer en vampire, étreindre, je vais vous tuer. Alors, moi, c'est soit je bute, soit je le charme. Si je le transforme pas, 2000 points en plus, c'est mort. Charmez, oubliez votre peur de la mort. Si je le charme, il voudra plus être vampire. Et j'ai pas envie de le transformer en vampire. Ouais, il va buter tout le monde si je le transforme. Putain. Si je le bute, à Scalon, ils vont être à mes trousses. Mais si je le charme... En fait, je comprends pas ce que ça va faire charmer. Oubliez votre peur de la mort. C'est-à-dire qu'il va plus vouloir devenir un vampire. Mais il va être encore en vie. Mais il va quand même vouloir bâtir les murs et tout. Et tu peux chaud. Mais non. Ben, en fait, là c'est charmer, oubliez votre peur de la mort. C'est pas oublier votre projet de faire des murs, de séparer les riches et les pauvres, de vouloir buter tous ceux qui sont infectés. Tu vois ce que je veux dire? Ah ouais, pas con. Alors que là, si je le tue, eh ben on peut faire genre il a pas survécu à la transformation. Mais non, ils vont voir les marques dans le cou. Allez, je sais pas quoi faire. Oh putain.
You don't deserve immortality, Mr. Dawson.
What? What are you prattling on about?
I don't believe I've ever met a man so bereft of empathy. You, sir, are despicable.
No! Wait! You can't! I made a deal with Lord Redgrave. I'll finance whatever he wants. Please, just ask him.
Sleep now. Rest now. Forever.
Ouais, j'avais raison, il y a la trace dans le cou.
I would have lived forever. Who are you to decide my fate? Who gave you the authority?
Préparez-vous à mourir. J'ai eu un succès Steam qui s'appelle Préparez-vous à mourir. Deuxième clé, troisième clé, quatrième clé, 10 millième clé. Bah open, hein. Non mais là, c'est même pas open en fait. Il me manque un coffre, je le trouve pas. Ah merde, il est là lui. Putain, je l'ai pas trouvé. Bon, tant pis.
Is it done, Dr. Reed? Is Aloysius Dawson reborn as expected?
Alas, Aloysius Dawson was not brought back to life after his death. The man is gone.
What? What happened?
He didn't survive the procedure. He was too weak.
This is unacceptable, nevertheless. You were given the simplest task.
Well, get rid of me then.
From now on, you're an outcast. Banished. You are forbidden to ever appear in front of us again. Ascalon will smite you on sight, and your heart will be thrown to the rats.
I'll leave you then. Have fun with your puppets and shadow plays, Lord Redgrave.
Yes, go, traitor, and take that awful creature, that counterfeit of a woman I saw waiting for you, and be gone!
Step away, traitor. Return to your dubious friends and your decrepit hospital. Do not dare show yourself again.
Oula, ils vont pas attaquer l'hôpital quand même. Mais J'ai tué personne, moi. Justement, c'est pour ça, en fait. J'ai pas tué la première meuf, j'ai pas tué le deuxième mec, et là... Et qu'est-ce que c'est fou là, elle? Je les ai tués après, parce que je les ai laissés en vie.
We meet again at the strangest of times, young Ekon. So do you serve the Earl of Bristol now?
Old Bridget, what are you doing here?
Your friend, the wise Ekon. She sent me to warn you.
Did anyone see you? It's a long way from the dock sewers, and hunters are patrolling the streets here.
Who said I took the streets? How do you think I survived for centuries in this city without ever being seen? I know all her secrets.
How did you meet Lady Ashbury?
She came to us in the sewers in search of answers. Just as you did.
What kind of answers did you give her?
I knew nothing of your maker, but we talked. We talked a lot. Her words and ideas are captivating. It is no surprise that you like her. I like her too.
Lady Ashbury in the sewers? Now that's a sight I wish I'd seen.
She said she was your friend, and that she sought the identity of your maker. So I answered her questions.
Lady Ashbury? You know her? Tell me what's going on.
The lady approached me but a few nights ago, wanting to meet the sewer skulls. Once she questioned Harriet Jones. She agreed to help us.
Harriet Jones is still with you then? How is she doing?
Harriet remains angry, but is recovering slowly. Her mind is twisted, but at least her body is healing.
Tell me what is going on.
The lady asked us to keep an eye on your mortal doctor friend while you were away. We spotted the hunters. They were discussing plans to attack tonight.
Wait, slow down. I need to ask you something.
I'm listening, but I do not have time to waste, so be quick.
Where is Lady Ashbury right now?
She said she will go home. She needed to speak with some old friends first, though. Do not worry, young Ekon. She is no fool, and just as strong as you.
How did Elizabeth find you?
She presented herself humbly at our gate, and asked if we knew of any ancestral vampires hiding in London. She asked about Ascalon. She asked about many things.
What do you think of her?
Her soul is good, yet tainted with a deep sadness, and the scars of ancient wounds. Time does that to us immortals, for we have so much to dwell upon.
Why did she come to you?
I am old Bridget, the buried memory of the city. She sought the silent truths, truths I have kept hidden for so long.
Why do I feel like Lord Redgrave was particularly irritated to see you? Far more so than the average Skull, if I may say.
Because I used to know him quite well, and he is afraid I may remember who he really is.
You're Elizabeth's informant. You're the one who told her about Lord Redgrave's lies regarding his lineage.
Yes, but my words were not meant to hurt or threaten. I simply told the story of the sewer skulls, and of so many other forgotten children.
No time to lose, then. I must go there right away.
I shall return to my den. Have you a message for the lady? Should I see her before you?
Tell her we need to talk.
In the end, is this not what we all need? Go now and take care, young Ekon, for the flames are rising.
Ferme.
You better go now to the Pembroke Hospital.
C'est la catastrophe. Je passe par Whitechapel, au moins je connais le chemin. C'est par là, c'est ça? Whitechapel? Ouais. Si la porte s'ouvre? Oui. C'est bon, range ton arme. Je crois que c'est par là, non? C'est par là. Ça. Merde. Je peux passer par là. Ouais.
Show me how you defeated Virgo Butcher.
What is this trouble?
Oh,
Are the vampire hunters here already?
c'est moi, il y a quelqu'un là. J'ai cru. Ah ouais, je l'ai buté. Je l'ai buté. Bah, c'est la daronne qui est morte. Pas soigné, mais c'est fatigue et mal de tête. Ça passe, non? Est-ce que je dors? Est-ce que je dors? Oui, j'ai 13 000 points. Ce que je voulais, c'est que la morsure augmentait le sang absorbé. Ouais, c'est ça que je veux. Plutôt pas mal. Bon, 1005. Ouais, j'ai pas assez, je suis con. Mais c'est 600. Avatar, c'est un truc là. Ah non, ok, je sais pas lire. Mais y'a pas un petit truc à 900 là? Bon, c'est pas 900, non. Non. Combien? 3004. 2007. 4005. Bah, je sais garder alors. Hein. Ah, peut-être ça à la limite. Événement important, votre choix concernant le pilier à la communauté a été publié à la presse. Ouais. Il n'est pas encore mort, lui. Putain. Ça bouge pas, hein. Alors ça, c'est plutôt pas mal. Il est niveau 4, 140 de dégâts. Je peux le passer niveau 5, oui. Ça fait 210. Je vais peut-être utiliser ça, du coup, maintenant. Alors... Absorbe des points de sang lorsque l'arme touche sa cible. Je peux pas. Mais du coup, je vais équiper ça. Hein. Et main gauche. Mais ça stun pas, c'est dommage. Diminuer le temps de recharge. Y'a rien qui stun, c'est con. Dans les flingues, en tout cas. Ah si, assommer. Oui, assommer. Mais ça assomme. Attends. Et si je fais... Alors... tac. Bah là, du coup, by the way, c'était quoi ça, 110? Ok, et si là, je mets le gun. Et là, je mets ça. Oui, quand même, 352 là. Bon, à voir ce que ça donne. Comment je fais pour changer d'arme? Ok. Je sais pas pourquoi j'entendais le patient en bas de là.
Those bastards. What have they done to Edgar? Looks like he's wounded. I better follow the blood.
Ah, putain.
McCullum and his thugs are taking the credit for Edgar's abduction. They really mean business.
Où ça sent le caca? Tu peux pas faire l'histoire sans tuer quelqu'un, t'es obligé de tuer quelqu'un. Ah. Est-ce que vous voyez la grande place? Ça sent pas un peu le fight là?
ultraviolet curtains and orichalcum powder. Dr. Swansea's always been a resourceful bastard. I bet he never told you he had this installed in case of a vampire attack. Says a lot about how much he trusts you.
What have you done with Edgar?
Don't worry. We don't kill humans. Even if your friend is deserving of a little punishment for what.
What are you talking about?
We know everything. Swansea and you created this bloody epidemic. You aim to unleash another disaster, just like William Marshall did.
No, I'm trying to put an end to it, just like you are.
You're the progeny, aren't you? Where is the monster hiding? It's still in England, isn't it?
I have no idea what you're talking about. Jeffrey, please listen to me.
No tricks. That shit won't work on me. We've found proof in the theater. Doris Fletcher was your first experiment. Now where is Marshall? Speak! So much for modern technology. Time for the tried and true. Do you know what this is, Beast? This is a drop of King Arthur's blood. The blood of a true defender of Britain. Stronger than your evil powers.
Parti pour la bagarre.
This is ridiculous. We're losing precious time.
True enough. Soon I'll bring your head before your coward of a father. Your poisonous bite is useless on me. Show some style. Fight like a man. The blood of a true defender of this land will protect me. Will cleanse you. We will prevail. We are the guardian of justice. Priwen shall prevail.
You can't accept the fact we're not enemies, can you?
We always have been, and we always will be. Of all the evils that threaten mankind, your kind are the worst.
I was only reborn for a few minutes before you and your men hunted me down like a beast.
You were only reborn for a few minutes, and you'd already taken the life of an innocent woman.
There is no way you'll ever let me be, McCullum. You'll always hunt me down, won't you?
There is no escape, Leech. Kill me now, for there is no way you can sway me to your ideals.
That's where you're mistaken.
What do you mean?
Oh putain. J'étais pas prête à ce choix. Coucou Max, ça va et toi? Je peux soit le transformer, l'épargner. J'ai peur que si je le transforme, du coup ils deviennent puissants, logique, mais qu'en plus il nous traque. Parce que bah il a pas envie d'être un vampire, genre. Donc je pense que je vais l'épargner. Ouais, il y a des choix et ça a de gros impacts. Mais je pense que je vais l'épargner pour le coup. J'ai pas envie de le transformer. Surtout vu que mon sang il est puissant.
I'll spare you, McCullum. I'll offer you the mercy you never offered me.
What is this ruse?
This is no ruse, McCullum. This is me letting you go. After all, you and I are both trying to save this poor country in our own way.
I'll kill you, Reed. Next time we meet, I'll end you.
See? Progress already. You called me by my name. Until the next time. Goodbye, Hunter.
Eh ben. Oh putain, je dois aller au théâtre là, sérieux? Non, mais pourquoi ils ont tous level up là? Mais... Oh non. Ils m'ont tous follow les cons. Ah mais c'est vrai que je peux pas passer par là. Attends mais j'ai toujours pas débloqué le truc là pour aller là. Mais non mais je suis bête, j'ai juste à faire ça. Prochaine à droite. Là? Bah ouais. Tout droit. Ah. Ah ouais, mais l'entrée, elle était pas là, justement. Ah, c'était pas trop lui que je visais. C'est quoi ça? Attendez, mais c'est quoi? Attends, mais... Oh, je regarde ton pote qui bug, là. Ouais, pas ouf le gun. C'est son pied? Coco Vince, ça va et toi? Il y en a fait 4 ou 5 si j'ai bonne mémoire en let's play. Ok. Ça m'intéressera bien du coup. Je suis pépé de l'autre qui a bugué là. On dirait une horloge, j'avoue que ça tourne comme une horloge quoi.
So Priwen never left Doris's theatre after they invaded. They must be holding Edgar here in their new headquarters.
Effectivement, c'est toujours là. Ils le tiennent même pas ici? Ah ouais, tout ça pour un coup de sacre. Ça, je trouve ça trop cheat que... On prend un truc, tu puisses changer. Mais elle fait pas de dégâts en fait. Mais elle a éclaté l'arme. Ok. C'est ça, hein. Ouais. Miam, 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 miam. Oula. Ça me fait cramer ça? Non, c'est pas ça. Ok.
Doris Fletcher was about to become a disaster. I'm getting close to having all the evidence.
bout de sac. Et du coup, j'ai une clé. Je me demande si c'est pas la clé de la porte de tout à l'heure. Mais tu peux ranger ton arbre, merci. Ça, c'est en haut. Donc, elle est vers là, la porte. Je crois que c'était pas là. Mais non, j'avais raison, c'était là-bas. Est-ce que... Ou alors c'était de l'autre côté, là, en face. J'avais pas vu qu'il y avait une porte. Ouais, non. C'est pas cette porte. Mais attends, mais... Ça mène à rien, là. Mais d'accord. C'est peut-être en bas, alors. J'ai 10 millions de clés. Faudrait que je regarde vraiment à quoi elles servent. Hein. Clé de la scène du théâtre. Une petite clé avec une petite clé. Sous-sol de l'école. Accès réservé aux étudiants et aux personnels du théâtre. Ok.
I have this thirst for blood.
Ah putain, j'ai une idée. Soit c'est en bas. Allez, deux. Je me perds. Soit c'est là. Par là, genre. Oh. Bah non. Non, mais là, c'est juste pour chercher la clé. Voilà, c'était là. Trop forte, en fait.
It's locked, all right.
Je me dis sur un malentendu, se déverrouille toute seule. Hein. Arrêtez de me jeter d'épée, un peu de respect là. Oh.
It's locked, all right.
Bien sûr.
Blood of a pure heart, garlic, blood of a king. I don't understand. Perhaps this is what McCullum drank. I had better keep that in mind.
C'est vrai que je sais pas trop ce qu'il a bu. Hein.
Edgar. Edgar, can you hear me?
Jonathan, is it really you?
Easy. Easy. Save your strength. I'm getting you out of here.
Don't try to spare me. As a physician, I know all too well when it's too late. Punctured lung, broken ribs, internal bleeding. An accurate diagnosis, wouldn't you say?
Edgar, what happened?
They wanted me to confess. Beat me black and blue.
Geoffrey McCullum ambushed me at the Pembroke Hospital. He was convinced you and I were responsible for the Skull epidemic.
I never imagined that self-righteous fanatic would dare to attack us in the open. What became of him?
To prove him wrong, I let him go.
Really? You sure that was the wisest course of action?
Time will tell. The most intriguing part of his accusation was that you and I were the pawns of some ancient vampire.
William Marshall. Yes, they tortured me to make me confess the same nonsense.
Edgar, as much as I would like to believe you, I have a few concerns that require clarification.
What do you mean?
William Marshall, for example. You speak of him as if you know him. How is that?
Jonathan, I cannot say I'm ready for another round of questions.
What can you tell me about William Marshall?
Not much. History paints the story he was the greatest knight who ever lived. Amongst the immortals, he had a yet greater legend.
Why is the Guard of Priwen so obsessed with him?
He was the only ancient vampire to escape the first great hunt launched by the Guard of Priwen in 1854. They believe he's an evil creature plotting his return.
Why would he deserve such a reputation?
I cannot say. The Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stole has next to no intelligence on him. All I know is that he's supposed to be the oldest of all the British vampires.
Why would the Guard of Priwen believe you and I created the vampire epidemic?
Maybe due to our profession. Because I offered you shelter at my hospital.
While investigating the epidemic, I read some of McCullum's findings. I think you have some explaining to do.
I have nothing to hide, Jonathan. Nothing at all.
Do you know Doris Fletcher's real name?
No, I'm afraid not.
Her real name was Doris Jones. She was the daughter of Harriet Jones.
What do you want me to say, Jonathan?
Do you remember when we suspected Sean Hampton of killing Harriet Jones?
Yes. The terrible episode that came as a shock to us all.
Harriet Jones faked her own death. When I found her in the sewers, she confessed she wanted everybody to pay for what happened to her.
That woman was extremely bitter, full of hatred and festering anger.
Doris Fletcher visited her mother at the Pembroke Hospital. That's how she first got infected.
I know nothing about that. Miss Fletcher once came to visit the sick. That is all I know.
No, Edgar, there is more. Doris Fletcher was Harriet Jones's daughter. They exhibited the same symptoms: blind hate and strong physical mutation.
What does this sad story have to do with us?
Do you know where we are? Doris Fletcher's theatre. This is where that hateful creature plotted to spread the epidemic across London.
I only briefly met Miss Fletcher once when she visited the Pembroke Hospital. You say it was to see her mother. She seemed like such a sweet and graceful woman.
My point exactly. The disease turned her into a bitter soul, driven by vengeance, just like her mother. A symptom of all the infected patients.
Certain diseases are known to produce similar effects. Rabies, for example. And rabies is not the devil at work.
Come on, Edgar. Don't you see the pattern here? The epidemic, the link between Doris and Harriet, the suspicion of McCullum.
How could I? I never saw Harriet Jones again after she fled the hospital.
Papa et Mimi, bonne soirée. Putain, je comprends pas. Tout le scénario se penche sur le fait que c'est lui, en fait, qui répand l'épidémie, mais... Il a l'air si innocent. Papa et bonsoir à vous.
Doris and Harriet shared more than a hidden family bond. They were the embodiment of the epidemic and are linked to the Pembroke Hospital. Come on, Edgar, this is no coincidence.
I swear I'm at a complete loss. All I did was administer vampire blood to cure old Harriet. There was no evil plan, no diabolical plot.
You did what?
I tested the regenerating and healing properties of vampire blood on Harriet Jones. My only intention was to find the cure for influenza, I swear.
Whose blood did you use? William Marshall's? Mine?
Lady Ashbury's. While transfusing her with human blood, humanely appeasing her hunger, I also kept samples of her blood for my research.
You used her blood on Harriet Jones? My God, Edgar, that's unethical. You betrayed 2 of your patients at the same time.
How dare you judge me? Must I name the alarming list of your victims?
We are both deceivers. But at least I know I'm a monster.
You have worked beside me. You saw what I'm doing at Pembroke Hospital. Jonathan, you know I'm not an evil soul. Just another victim of this tragedy.
Oh putain. Non mais pourquoi je dois décider tous les piliers si je les tue pas? En 3000 points. Mais oui, mais là ça va durer longtemps, Gazy. Je sais pas quel choix faire. Mais qu'est-ce que tu fais, Tigré? Tu m'embêtes. Bon, déjà, je le laisserai pas mourir parce que quitte à ce qu'il crève, autant que je le bouffe. Comme ça me fait de l'XP. Mais pourquoi je le transformerai? Moi, je pense que si je le transforme et que je fais de lui un vampire, et ben les autres, ils vont dire « Ah, vous voyez, c'était bien eux, ils étaient en complot. » Alors que si je le bute et que je dis toute la vérité à l'autre, il va me foutre la paix, non? Pourquoi le tuer? Mais parce que c'est lui qui est à la source de l'épidémie de Londres. C'est lui qui l'a créée. Bah ouais. Mais quoi qu'il arrive, pour moi, qui t'a laissé mourir, faut que je le bouffe. Donc, c'est entre transformer et étreindre. Oh, putain, je sais pas. Bon, 3000 points d'XP, frérot, tu coûtes cher, là. Putain, j'ai transformé personne jusqu'ici. C'est pas pour... Mais du coup, ça va devenir un quartier hostile. Ça va être n'importe quoi. Oh là là, putain. Peut-être si tu le transformes, il pourra aider. Ouais, peut-être, hein. Je sais pas du tout. Je pense que je vais rester sur mon choix de base. Que, à mon avis, si je l'étreins, les autres ils vont dire « Ah, c'est bon, c'est pas toi. » Mais du coup, ça va devenir encore un quartier hostile, putain. Ouais, c'est vrai qu'il m'a sauvé au début. Mais oui, mais si on est... Mais c'est pas qu'on vaut pas mieux que lui. C'est que si on est devenu ce qu'on est, c'est... Bon, moi, j'aurais dit grâce à lui, mais à cause de lui, tu vois. Ah bah non, vu qu'on s'est fait bouffer par un vieux vampire, il a rien à voir là-dedans. Je pense que je vais le transformer.
No, Edgar, you are not going to die. Unless you want to.
What do you mean?
I can save you, Edgar. I can turn your broken body into one like mine.
You truly would? After all I've done, after all that's been said, you would offer me this gift?
I have no way of knowing which punishment would be worse, Edgar.
But it is not for me to decide. So?
Oh, please, Jonathan, please. I beg you. This is what I've always wanted. This is what I've always searched for.
Very well, then. Prepare to die and be reborn. To face an eternity of guilt.
I'm ready. Oh, indeed, I am ready.
Enough!